welcome to another slightly redneck video. Finally going to do a quail cooking video. It's been requested by a lot of members and I'm finally getting around to it. So I'm going to be roasting some quail with some fresh herbs from the herb garden today, so stick around, we'll get right to it. Okay, so I've got my quail here. I've just got 4 of them because it's just me going to be eating. So, you know, if you're going to be cooking, you could do this with 8, 10, 12 quail, however many you want. But I think 4 is a good number for just one person because, you know, you're probably going to eat 2 of them in any kind of setting. I've got some fresh herbs. I've got some thyme. I've got some rosemary. And I've got a little bit of parsley. So I'm going to go ahead and make a quick marinade. And that's going to be comprised of some olive oil, my herbs, and a little bit of lemon juice for the acid part of that. So I'm going to go ahead and get these herbs all ready to go. And basically I'm just going to strip them off the stems and dice them up just a little bit. Probably want about a tablespoon of each herb. If you're using dried herbs, then maybe a teaspoon of each herb instead of a tablespoon. Alright, so I've got my herbs all stripped off. I'm just going to kind of roughly chop these things up a little bit. So I'm going to throw them right into my olive oil. I've got about a half cup of olive oil. That's probably a little bit more than I need for this, for just 4 quail. You could probably get away with a little bit less than that, but I don't know. Easy enough to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of acid to that. I'm going to be using lemon juice for my acid. Probably about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit over. And that's really all I'm going to do for my marinade. You don't have to marinate the quail. I just find that it adds a little bit of flavor to them. It helps keep them from drying out just a little bit. The olive oil does. The acid will help break down a little bit and make them a little bit more tender. But it's not really a necessity. And then I'm just going to marinate them in a Ziploc bag. So I'm just going to put my quail in the Ziploc bag. I'm going to pour my marinade in. Seal that up. Squish that around so they all get coated really well with it. And that's really about all there is to marinating. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the fridge, let it sit all day while I'm at work, and then I'll cook it whenever I get home at night. You could probably marinate this if you wanted a quick marinade just for maybe an hour or two, a couple hours, and it'd be just fine. I've got all day to do it, so I'm going to let it marinate all day long. So we'll be back when I get home from work this evening, and we'll get these things cooked up real quick. Alright, so it's the end of the day. I'm home from work. Remove these from the marinade after about 8 hours of marinating. That's about as long as you want them to marinate. You can marinate them as short as about 2 hours probably. So what I've done is I've taken them out, I patted them dry, I put them in a greased baking dish ready to go in the oven, and I've salt and peppered them just a little bit, and I also stuck toothpicks, you can see right here. Let me get one of these out of here, you can see. Stuck a toothpick through the leg just so they'd sit up in the baking dish and kind of hold together a little bit. Not absolutely necessary, but I kind of like it that way. Just sprinkle them with a little bit of salt and pepper and they're pretty much ready to go in the oven. Now I'm going to let these sit out here for about 30 minutes before sticking in the oven. Let them come up to room temperature first so I'm not sticking an ice cold bird into a hot oven, and that'll help a little bit. You could sear these if you wanted to before you bake them, just in a pan on the stove top, a little bit of oil or fat in the bottom. Sear them on each side for maybe 2 or 3 minutes each side. I'm not going to mess with that, but it's definitely an option you can do if you want to. Okay, the trick to cooking quail is it needs to be cooked hot and fast. So I've set my oven to 350 degrees. It's preheated. I'm going to stick these in there, and I'm going to stick them in there for about 12 to 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set them at 12 minutes, and then I'll check them when the timer's done and see if they're finished. You're just going to cook them until the juices run clear or it reaches 165 degree on an instant read thermometer. Okay, now you don't want to overcook the quail, so it's important that you do keep an eye on it because it can go from done to overcooked very, very quickly because they're such small, lean birds. If you overcook it, it tends to get rubbery, tough, and just not a good texture. So I'm going to set my timer again for 12 minutes, and I'll check them when they're done. Alright, they should be done now. Let's take a look here. That smells good. Alright, I would say those are finished. Let's come in and take a closer look. Alright, there we go. These things are done. Wish you could smell this because it smells fantastic. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's been asked for quite a few times, and I finally got around to doing it. Sorry it took me so long. I've just been crazy busy and haven't had much time lately. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you have questions, comments, you have a better recipe, you have something you want to share, feel free to do that in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you like to see this content, you like to see more of it. And as always, God bless.